They haven't they haven't made too many researches if it's good or not, but I think in my way, like he said, it can never hurt. And even if you would have this one only for one time, he said you can even put it to dry it. But as long as you, how do you say, clean your hands with this disinfection or this for the bacteria.
Yeah.
So then it should be safe.
Yeah.
But,
But were you worried when you were suspecting you had this virus? Did you kind of suspect that you actually have the virus?
I never thought it about that time because they start to talk about that in March. So we never talked about Corona in February.
Oh, okay. Because you had it in February.
Yeah, I never talked about it, but then after they really start to talk about it, but I never tested me, and they were like that because even if I would come there, I don't know if they would find something, maybe, but it was tough way to breathe. But they say you can have a slight of it, nobody feels it at all. That's the scary thing, that people go around and they have it maybe, but they don't feel it.
Yeah.
That's the scary part.
And also, there's people without the symptoms, the asymptomatic.
That's the scary part.
Yeah.
That's the scary part because but as long as, same thing, when you go, I don't know if you have that in Singapore, like in Sweden you have, like if you go shopping, they have like special hours for our old people to go shopping.
Oh.
They have like, you go between, they have like, I know like one shop, they go earlier, between 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning. It's for the older people.
That's
it's
very
their
good.
time.
That's very good. I should write to my Prime Minister. That's a very good suggestion. I should write to the Prime Minister to implement this in Singapore, that people of a different age, they go at a different time. So that is also social distancing, because you're staggering out the time and people are not meeting each other. And what's happening in Singapore is that because this is in Asia, and Singapore is a very small island, you've got about 6 to 7 million people in a little island. Can you imagine? The shops are so full of people. It's not possible to have social distancing. Not possible at all. And in other countries, you encourage physical distance of 2 meters or 3 meters or 9 feet. Yeah, but in Singapore, it's only 1 meter. And even the social distancing of a 1 meter is not possible because everyone is just with everyone. Especially in the shops. And the buses and the trains are really packed and full. That is something that is worrying, a worrying sign, because it's just by the characteristic that this is a country, or in Asia, people are really packed in the cities, and it's only in the countryside, in less populated, less dense cities, that people are naturally having that space between them, because there are fewer people in that land, in that area. You can have natural social distancing when there's a less population. It's harder when the whole population needs to get out to buy food, they need to go out to work, and when the schools are starting, it's not possible. It's not that people do not want to, they want to. It's just not possible. It's just not possible to have that safe distance, and that is something that is worrying.
But don't they tell you to stay home for those who can stay home?
They don't. They encourage people to stay home, but because the economy needs people to go out to spend money. Because the shops were closed down if people are not going out. So the governments are having to balance the economy, or the collapse of the economy. So I think the responsibility is now on the people. right? You have to be responsible while the economy is opening. So the government can only balance this much, and now the rest of it is on the people. So I think it takes, like, I like the way you say it is, it is the time whereby we need to take care of each other. You know, if I take care of myself, it means I'm taking care of my neighbor. It means I'm taking care of my family. Yeah.
But don't you have a special, like when you go to the shops, don't they have a special like plastic something
No.
that
No.
don't you have that?
No.
Because they made here in every shop you go to, so the person who works there, they have like a plastic, like so you can't cough on her, you can't breathe on her, and you only have a small hole, you know, where you know.
Oh, that's very good. Yeah,
so they have that on every.
I think in other countries they have that in, I see the news, they have that, but in Singapore, you know, there's very little like plastic shield. I don't know why. Maybe because the people think that it is safe now, because the cases are going down. So you know, that's not done in the shops. That's not done in the schools or in the office, in the workplace. So that's another risk. Yeah, that people have to take. Yeah, but you are actually working in a ferry, right? You have started work. You're working in a ferry.
Yes. But yeah, but there, you know, they in the beginning it was worse, but they have like now I'm like stuck with the crew, you know.
Yeah.
So it's. But I've been in the like help them to clean and like that. But then, you know, you shut the aisle, you know, where you were. You didn't want any people there, so they had to wait outside till you're finished, you know.
I see.
But sometimes, you know, I can see when the people wants to go out from the ferry, the distance is not the best, you know, because there should be no people telling them, you know, but. That's what I say, if I should catch something, and it will be on this ferry, you know. But now still we have been safe, and yeah.
How is the economy in Sweden? Because there's no lockdown, the economy went on, and people are actually just, you know, doing things as normal. Is the economy bad now, or is it just normal?
It's you know, it was, you know, some will, how to say, concourse. There were like some shops where it has to lock down.
Oh.
But there we have several shops that are not. I don't know if they had to lock down, and but I think that most of the big ones, it's okay. And I think the economy, it went down very low, but now when you look on the market, I don't know, on the TV, you know, then on the savings, you know, first you lost like 25% or 30%, but now you're plus again, you know.
Oh, that's
so
good. So the economy of Sweden was down at some time, and now it went up again because it has normalized.
Yes. But the government, they put a lot of money for several companies, and you know, they have to help out. So I think there is a lot of. It will be a tough time later on because it has to get paid, you know, because they put so much money in the hospitals and. In the, you know, for buses and companies and now even, you know, the airplanes, you know, they're not flying like they should fly now. So that's a big problem, especially the companies who those who put those, how to say, the traveling companies, you know, for the people for Greece and like that. It's been think they're sending some people, but it's not the same amount like last year.
Yeah.
So they lost a lot of money. I don't know if everybody is going to survive.
It's the same. I mean, in Singapore, companies are retrenching workers. So there are workers who are out of jobs, and this is the starting. This is just the start of the economy showing the effects of the lockdown and the coronavirus. Did your government give people money? Did it send money to people, checks to people?
No, they sent some. They sent money to, because they have some people. They didn't lose. Like at my work, they kicked out 950 people or something.
Wow.
Like that. It's a lot.
Wow.
But I don't know. I think some companies, they took advantage of this corona, you know.
Yeah.
And now because they didn't want them, they don't have to pay. And for me, you know, if you have a good years, you should have been saving money.
Yes. Exactly.
And, you know, that's handle the bad day. Now then they take advantage, kick the people. Now I think they back 150 or something. But in some companies, you have like the government is paying you like you're like permitted. I don't know, permitting into it that you don't work all days, but the government goes in and pay that last day.
Yeah.
And they try to help, you know, so not all the companies will fall down. So they put money, give them money to survive.
So they give the money to the companies, but did they give the people money? Did you receive any money or social help?
I didn't because I've been working all the time. I still had I didn't lose my work, but they raised you know, for those people who like lost their work, they made higher, you know. I don't know how much they get, the 80%, you know. So they gave them money. Plus, you know, in the summertime, when they said to people, like, if you feel sick or something, you have to stay home. So the government paid the first 2 weeks of your when you were sick. Right. The company didn't have to pay for the unemployed, you know, for the people, because they told them to stay sick. If you have sore throat, you have to stay home. So the government took the load.
I see. Yeah.
But now I don't know. If they say it's more stable. In Sweden, it's like, because before, like Sweden went their own way. Many criticized Sweden, you know, and I know my mom said, "Oh, Mamma Mia," you know, because my family live in Czech Republic, and there they shut down schools and they shut down everything, and I don't think it's the best way, because people have to get in touch, because when you open up, then you are there, then you have the same problem.
Yeah.
You know, now when you look in Czech Republic, where my family lives, the area, then you see it gets higher and higher there.
Oh wow!
Because and now when I looked in Facebook, they even wrote that some companies are looking on the Swedish way, how we have handled it. So that's what I say. You never know which way is the best.
You never know, because the game is not over. You don't know who is going to win or who is going to lose. In fact, this. If you read the news, the World Health Organization says this will last for 2 years. You know, the virus will go on for 2 years, which means that this is just the beginning.
I mean, if it could go only 2 years, we'll never know. You know, maybe, you know, this maybe will be the normal way of living now. You never know. Maybe you can never get back to the normal that you're used to. I mean, maybe you have...
Have you thought, have you become more faithful and spiritual because of this? Have you because you are a believer?
No, I always believed before too, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's been, and I said to my like my daughter for some years ago, I told her to go to like this confirmation, when when you're 15 years old. And I said, go to it because some God in you will never hurt you, Yeah. But then it's the way, to help you to, that you're never alone and like there's always somebody watching you. But then the only thing that my advantage, and I said to Corona, is, I was an exchange student. I was an exchange student when I was 17 till 18 in America, USA. And I stayed with one family there for 1 year. And I had one very good friend. He was my neighbor, and he became a pastor.
Wow.
And, and the thing is, like, because of Corona, he was life-sending. And I even got, he's married and like that, but you can always be friends. We have a special bond because we were always together when I was there. He was like, we're like always together. But then, when it was Corona, I found, because he was my friend, but suddenly I could hear all his preaching live.
Wow.
And I said that's my, that's my lucky card there. Plus, he always, and we start to talk more and more on the messenger, and he always say, I pray for you and all the best, and then I feel safe that we have a great pastor, and he really cares and like that. So he helps me, and I say, I have my protection there because, his prayers and like that. But that's one of the few advantages that you suddenly get to know people because it's on live, I never heard him and I've seen him so much, like I can see him every week,
Yeah.
And it helps you, like, they would say, you get closer to people, even if we have a special bond, but now this bond will be even stronger now because nobody can take away our year together.
Yeah, and
we were like 22. And it's like, I told him that 30 years ago, I haven't been in the USA. I said I wanted to go, but now I never even went. This is the first year I never went outside Sweden. I always go to, my home country, like homeland, Czech Republic, haven't been nowhere. I've even not gone to Germany, nowhere. So that's a good way to, stay home.
Yeah, and this worldwide phenomenon has actually brought the world closer, even though everyone is staying at home, staying apart. So in some way, I think you are right, and I agree with you that this is a time whereby it's like a sudden wake-up call for mankind to be kind to each other, and also a reminder that actually all of us are together as one. And globalization this is the meaning of globalization. Globalization not only in terms of economy, but globalization in terms of the pandemic. So I hope that this is like a wake-up call. I pray every day. Like today, I prayed for the world that God can control the situation. God is looking at all this because at this time we can't really trust any human being. We can't blame the governments because it's new to them and we do not know which method works because the game is not over. So we can only trust God. I should say that man, it is out of the league of human being. It is out of the league of scientists. Even scientists are trying to struggle for a vaccine. And the vaccines are competing with each other. And the scientists are all competing with each other. No man can say they are more intelligent than the other man. And I feel that this is a time whereby humanity needs to wake up. It's globalization, is the one life together as one human being under God.
If they would, if all the country would put each other together, they would find a vaccine, I think. But now everybody is thinking of how to gain money. Because
it's a lot of money, of course. Of course.
Money, don't tell me the scientists in USA and if you take some in Europe and Asia, of course they would, if they would put their heads together, they would find something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now you all see that now it's become, in this Corona time, it's been a lot of, you see that in USA, a lot of, and I blame them a little bit too, for China, They should, they should said something before, If they would stop it, if they would, and then there were people like doctors, they said something to the world. Yeah, what happened? They just disappear.
Yeah.
They killed them, There was the doctor who treated and suddenly you saw him on the TV and then he died. I think they killed him, I don't believe, I don't trust, and then they open up the markets again with the dogs and cats. I don't know what to do. That's they just, many people, they think, when you write in the Facebook, they said that the China should pay the bills, what they have occurred to the world,
Yeah, and I think even at this time, no man can help us. No human being can help us. I think, that's why probably going to God is the only way, and I think God is like watching the situation. And you can see the stock market is. How is the stock market in Sweden? Is it going up or going down?
Our stock market's it goes, but I think it's pretty. I don't know. It's not going down so much like it really was in the beginning. That's because I see it on my money that it's I don't like before. I don't have like only one company. I have several companies that what the bank gave you. And now I see it's like my son said, oh, if you're taking out all this money and then put it back again, when it went down. I think it went down 20%. And I said to him, when it goes down, don't take out anything, you have to be, you have to wait till it goes up.
You have to be really strong.
And now it's on the same level, or I have some plus, I think, because it's green. Before it was all red, when you looked at the...
I'm happy for you, that, things are safe. So your parents are in the Czech Republic. At one time, the Czech Republic and Serbia, the Eastern Europe, they're controlling very well. I read in the papers they had very good control at some time, some months ago. But now it's going up, the situation.
I saw it went up, and somebody read in the newspaper in Vietnam.
Yeah.
It's going up.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah.
But then, they said, I don't know if you have seen Putin, he said they had the vaccine in Russia, that he gave it to himself, and he stopped. But I don't know if I can believe it or...
Yeah. So this is something that we don't know. We don't know how safe the vaccine is, and
Well, the best way is if everybody had this vaccine here for, I don't know how it was called in English. Some years ago it was like bird vaccine. I don't know. They call it the Swedish bird vaccine.
The bird flu.
And and I never took it. And I said, if everybody will take it, then I'm safe.
It's so nice talking to you, Barbara, after so many years. And this worldwide pandemic has actually brought many people closer. People who have not talked to each other for many, many years. They started to call and ask them, how are you doing? Are you safe? I think this is the one thing that positive thing that has happened. I hope it's not just a short time, but I hope that the humanity can actually wake up to really understand that everyone is the same in the world, and everyone has to take care of each other, and we can't be selfish, either economically, economy-wise, or even in taking care of each other in the pandemic. And if you look at the YouTube, people are starting to have a spiritual enlightenment. You can see that YouTube, a lot of people are starting to pray. They're going to the street to pray. I see that there's some hope coming up, And I hope that Sweden is successful.
I hope so too.
And I definitely want you to be safe and for everyone to be successful. And you know, Singapore, we are really a small island. It's so packed. You must be surprised. I haven't been going out at all for the last few months. But you know, the situation is not like in Europe. You know, in Europe, the country is huge. People live far apart. You can go to the countryside. You can go to the beach. You can go to the forest. But there isn't anything. I mean, you have been to Singapore. It's so small. It's just one dot. Yeah, there's no way you can run. So you know.
Don't you have these shops that make you deliveries with food?
Yeah, there is. There is.
Because that one, you know, that market went higher in Sweden. You know, those who deliver food to the old people. You know, that's very popular now.
Wow.
So we have even if you don't, some they deliver to your door, and some they put it outside, so you can. They have some boxes outside the shops, and then you can pick it up. That one increased a lot, you know. And see, when you go there in the morning, you can see like how the one who works in the shop, with the food, you can see how many they pack, you know. It's very a lot. That's a good way. Like either you have these special time hours.
Yeah, that's very good.
Like they have good in the morning, and then you can have the option to get your things, you know, the things to your door.
Yeah.
Or even pick it up. But you know, and then the thing is, it's not very good. Like my mom, she said she doesn't go out so much. She only goes in the morning and like that. I follow her. But the thing is that she should, it's like if she's living alone, she needs, you know, the other one, you know. Many people get isolated. That's not very good for the health problem either, you know. So,
yeah, I like the special policy in Sweden whereby certain age group, the older people will only go to the shops at certain hours to protect them. I think that's very good. I will write to the Facebook of my Prime Minister.
Because they open the shop 1 hour earlier, you know. Normally they don't have open at 7 o'clock.
Oh yeah, that's very good. That's very good. Like if the shops can extend 1 more hour earlier or 1 more hour later for special people to go, I think that's a very good suggestion. We haven't had that in Singapore.